Today's episode is simple, short, and sweet. I'm talking about how you're going to incorporate flaxseed into your diet. You already have your diet. You're just adding flaxseed to it so you can get the optimal benefits and nutritional supplements that it has for you. There are some general rules of thumb that I will talk about at the end of this podcast. So please stay attentive and listen to the end. First is use flaxseed slowly because you're just introducing this rich, soluble fiber rich and insoluble fiber rich component into your diet. You want your gut bacteria to adjust gradually. So start with 1 tablespoon instead of 2 tablespoons. See how you adjust to it before you go to start to use 2 tablespoons, which is recommended per day. Remember, this also aligns with if you are already so used to many high fiber diets or you are very low on high fiber diets. Always remember that there has to be a balance. Talking about regular use, you can incorporate flaxseed into your regular meals. You can add it to your smoothies, which is the most common way because you remember you need a lot of hydration with flaxseed. So adding it to your smoothies just make it easier. And after blending all of the smoothie, since it's already in the ground form, you just add it to it, mix it together, let it sit for a while, and then you're good to go. You can also add it into your regular oats that you have for breakfast or any time of the day that you choose to have your oats. There's a general and common practice of adding it to pastries. So people actually add it to their baking recipe. And what is done in this situation is literally replace 1 egg with flaxseed. And how you do that is you add your tablespoon into a mixing cup and you add 2 to 3 tablespoons of water, mix it, let it sit. And after a while, it actually becomes a gel like liquid, just like chia seed will be. And that tells you that the nutrients that they both contain are similar, right? And then you can actually use it as a binding agent rather than using another egg. So that's another way to incorporate flaxseed into your baking recipe. As an African woman, I actually incorporate flaxseed into my swallows, what people would generally call fufu. So I incorporate it into Amala. I incorporate it into Eba. Feel free to incorporate it into anything you like. Just note that it's going to give it a different color, especially if you're incorporating it into eba or gari or any other light colored swallow food as opposed to amala that is already dark colored and there is no significant difference. You know, food is actually creative. So just find ways to add this to anything you eat. I've added it to eggs before while making my eggs, just fried eggs for breakfast. I added some flaxseed. It's all up to you, really. You can be very creative with how you use these things. Just incorporate it into your diet. But remember, if you already have low blood pressure, you want to watch your quantities and you want to talk with your physician because you don't want your blood pressure to drop into extremely dangerous levels that are incompatible with life. So you might want to regulate how much you are taking per day instead of going to maximum dose. You also want to check for specific supplemental support you are targeting, whether as a perimenopausal woman who is trying to target more phytoestrogens or someone who is focused on cardiovascular health. These are things you should take note of and discuss with your primary physician on what you're thinking about and how they can guide you to regulate it depending on the medications you are already on. For example, if you're on hormonal replacement therapy and you want to start taking flaxseed that contains a high amount of lignin, which is also both antioxidants and phytoestrogen. So those are some things you want to check. The general rules of thumb, flaxseed is actually better towards the end of your prepped meal. So if I'm making amala, I'm not going to add flaxseed from the very beginning because long exposure to cooking might not make all the nutrients available to you. So I would add my flaxseed towards the end of making the amala. I mean, I don't need to cook flax seeds. I'm just incorporating it into the food. So make that your general rule of thumb so that you have the maximum amount of the nutritional value that flaxseed has to offer you so that it's not destroyed. Basically, the nutrients are not destroyed while you are cooking it. Always remember that this is for educational purposes. It's not medical advice, and you might want to do more research. Take things slowly, but remember, consistency is what matters. You can't just start using flaxseed and say that you are not seeing any difference and then you're gone with it. No, consistency in anything matters for you to appreciate the health benefits that it has to offer you. Until the next episode, I remain your Dr. B, a public health physician promoting health literacy and making health matters simple and easy to understand so you can make the best and informed decision about your own health. Stay well, stay safe, and God bless you. Bye bye.